What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dynasty Trade Show. We're so glad that you're here. Just a quick reminder, if you want your deals featured, patreon.com/South Harmon. Perfect time to not only have your deals reviewed on this very show, but the NFL season is right around the corner. You're going to need it for lineup decisions, trade questions, shit talk, and of course, to talk yourself off a ledge, just like we're going to have to talk Fizz off the ledge with this Micah Parsons deal that dropped right before we hit the record button. Oh, baby Adam, what a blockbuster. We're getting one-upped on the trade show before we even record it.
Yeah,
man, what's going on, Jerry?
Before we hit the button, Jerry sent Michael Parsons to Green Bay. Mike, I'll admit, if you go to the Patreon, patreon.com/South Harmon, you can go into the completed trades channel where you had a blockbuster deal go down that did get one up today. As Fizz would say, let's make a trade today. That lyric probably hits a little different, huh, Fizz? But here's what I'll tell you, Mike. I think with the whole trade that has gone down now, Micah Parsons going to Green Bay, what a time to talk about jerseys. Listen,
Need a new one.
we lost so many people, so many good guys to unruly trades. I don't want to talk about it. Micah Parsons in the cheesehead jerseys. I don't know which one you go with. Do you go, the green, the white? What does the number end up being? Do we stay sexy 11? Does Jaden Reed give it up? I mean, there's questions to be answered.
I really wanted to see Micah Parsons in green, just not that one. Or the Jets.
Well, listen, let's just say this. Mike, you and I talk about in Dynasty, we never want to reverse trades. I think the NFL commissioner would have had to get involved if Micah Parsons went to fucking the Philadelphia.
Especially for the compensation. 2 firsts.
Yeah. What do we have?
And
We have
Kenny
a player to be
Clark.
named. I knew
Kenny
it.
Clark.
I knew that the player to be named would not be enough.
Kenny Clark. Shit,
Well,
man.
Speaking of shit, certified
How we
shit.
probably tried. Probably how we probably tried. But Jerry was like, I train you to.
Yeah, Jerry's dumb. He just doesn't want to send someone in division. But, Mike, that brings me to Ultimate Autographs. Make sure you go check out our partners. Sign shit, sh.it. Micah Parsons' old Cowboys signed memorabilia probably starting to go on the low. But listen, it's a throwback now. It's a time that we can all remember as a past. It's a pastime, buddy.
Incredible 4 years. You don't get to see a 5th.
Speaking of, let's go ahead and let's just rip the Band-Aid, buddy. Let's get right into the McNutted Trade of the Week.
Welcome to South Harmon.
Now, as I show this to you, let me just tell you, it's a 14-team league. But, Mike, you tell me the specifics of the league here. As you can see up top. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me help you. Guys, drag this into 14-team Dynasty Superflex Best Ball PPR tight end premium. Mike, you trade away Drake Maye, and you get not only Tet McMillan, but a 26 and 27 first. I mean, to me, one thing that sticks out is like 14-team versus 12-team. If you don't play in it, the scarcity just goes to a much higher degree. I think if this trade goes down on a 12-team, everyone's fucking going absolutely crazy. I'm not saying that in your league they still didn't, but in 14-team, this could make sense. Because to me, Mike, Tet right now, I don't have the Dynasty Data Lab up, but I'd imagine he's maybe a couple rounds behind at best. He might be like a round and a half behind Drake Maye. And
Yeah,
to get
not too far away.
To get 2 first on top is, this team better be all-stars, buddy. It better be the P-Berg all-stars, because this better be 114s locked and loaded. Otherwise, there's a huge wiener on this.
He's going 7 picks after Drake Maye.
So how about a half round? I stand corrected.
How about a half round? It is 14-team Superflex 2.0 tight end premium, meaning every tight end catch is worth 2. But here's the caveat. There's no skill position starting. It's all flexes. All flexes.
Okay, so this is that league where you have a quarterback and one Superflex, right? And everything else is flexes?
Yep, regular flexes. Start 11 total.
Okay.
Best ball league, ready to rock. When we get to the WoRP, you'll see it too. The quarterback WoRP is stupid good.
It's ungodly.
It's
yeah,
ungodly.
let's go ahead and let's go. What a good time to just get right into this thing.
Just like Mike Parsons, he's taking the same trip to Green Bay right now in the WoRP tour.
You imagine, too, the last team that gaped you in the playoffs here. How about we give you Micah Parsons?
You like that WoRP?
Yeah, I had it up, and actually, when you told me that, I'm like, why don't we just go over? Why don't I show the people the warp chart here? Well, in 14 team, I think in general, you will tend to see this because of the scarcity and the amount of teams that have to start. You're talking 28 quarterbacks that should be starting on a weekly basis, right? Mike, what's the scoring? Is there a big scoring caveat? Are we talking 6-point passing touchdown? Is it juiced to?
There must be. I don't know right offhand. It's tough, Adam. You mentioned while you were pulling up the lab on this
Yeah,
one.
Mike's a 3-pager now, okay, on the lab.
So give me a minute. I'll pull it up on my phone since
Yeah.
Sleeper still doesn't support real shit for best ball leagues on the web. Sleeper,
No,
too
they're
bad.
much more of a put it in your hands type of a guy.
Yeah,
Mike,
they are.
Mike, what's a 5-letter word that women always have in their hands that starts with P?
I'm the worst person to ask. I'll get canceled.
Phone. Come on, Mike, get your head out of the gutter.
Yeah, 6-point passing touchdown, Adam.
Okay, so there you go. So I mean, I can see it in this league now. And one thing I will say too, the trade is still stupid. Okay, let me put that out there. Let me just acknowledge it for everyone and anyone. But Mike, when I look at this warp line, when I look at this graph, right? Look at how flat. Look at the flatness of this fucking blue line. I'm not saying I don't want good receivers, but I'm just as likely to want a top 42 receiver as anything. So, not that Ted is not a really good value here, right? But is he going to finish as a top 24 locked in? And realistically, what does that mean versus a top 36, 42 guy? This is where I think you need to ask for more than what Ted's worth in dynasty value in a league like this. But anyway, that's.
Yep.
I think this explains to where Drake Maye would be. I don't think I've run single year yet. I'm just kind of curious at this point. Drake Maye, obviously, his warp last year would not be what you should be looking at, but I'm kind of curious to see how many quarterbacks last season would have really finished ahead of. I mean, God. Caleb Williams last year on a shitty year, 2.8. So there you have it, right? Like it's,
There you have it.
Drake Maye is now. Let's talk about real quickly. Let's just go ahead and let's do this like this. All right, go straight into the lab here, buddy, because I want to see what type of hoard we had going here, right? I mean, that's what I'm.
We had one.
Okay.
We definitely had one.
Oh wow, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford. Speaking of 5 letters in the letter P, Michael Penix. Yeah, Penix and Bo Nix. I don't know, Mike. I don't know how this happens. Why Aaron Rodgers is in the Superflex spot? If this is something you did semantically, or if this is a new update on the website. But
No.
yeah. I mean, to still have 5 QBs and to get an extra couple first here. Did you have your own? What are we? Oh man.
Oh yeah.
So you're at 4 now. This is a team that's quietly going to become a team to be reckoned with here shortly. I don't even know if it's quiet anymore. It's starting to get loud.
It's getting loud.
It got loud. Got louder.
I mean, come on, man. I got Bill in the flex too.
Yeah, I mean, little Bill in the starting roster as well as Rodgers had me worried in the first half. All right.
Are we good?
No. What is your plan now? Do you try to move another quarterback after this has gone through, or like do you start pushing the envelope? I think this is a good conversation for quarterback hoard strategy. Like you had a great sale go through that I would argue, is a loss for the other side. But now that it's happened, what's your next play? What's this? Give me the strategy behind this now.
Oh, well, I've had a couple people already sniff around about quarterbacks, right? Because eventually they realized, oh shit, Mike QB hoarded in a 14-team Superflex where the warp line on quarterbacks is absolutely stupid. So good. Looks like I'm going to have to pay these prices. So I've had a few sniffers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Finally hooked one though, Got it. Pull them in. So, yeah, we're looking to do one more. Whether that is selling Stafford and Aaron Rodgers for more than what you traditionally think they should go for in a 12-team.
Right.
Or, listen, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, very interesting. I doubt I'm going to get a Josh Allen deal done, okay? What I would ask for in Josh Allen is going to be astronomical.
It's going to hurt. It's going to really, really hurt. I'd imagine anyone's soul. But
I'm gonna fuck you over harder than the Packers just fucked over the Cowboys.
Oof, that's going to be hard to do. Well, but to that point, do you have offers out, or is this just DM discussion? Like, from a strategy standpoint, where are you at with it?
Traditional Mike winning QB hordes. Just do it. Let them talk amongst themselves.
Let it happen.
Let them come with bullshit offers that I instantly reject. Deep Seas in this league, he's sent a lot. This is the most I'm willing to go. That's cool. Bye.
Bless his heart. I always like when he tells me he's at his top offer. Like it lets me know.
Fine.
It lets me know where he's at. It doesn't change where I'm at, but it lets me know where he's at.
We just sit back and we let it come to me, right? Like I'm in a very comfortable position. Obviously, would I like to get rid of a Rodgers and a Stafford before they die? Yes. But Bo Nix, Michael Penix, Josh Allen, they're not going anywhere. Pretty good on that front. The wide receivers that I have up at the top now with Ted, Neighbors, and Jamar Chase. Listen, there's a lot of dynasty installation built in. And then the rest of the team is, just pick and choose with like a Tracy and an Aaron Jones, Matthew Golden. Like guys like that you're like, okay, well, I can kind of walk that line of competing and really play this out for multiple weeks early in the season before I really have to shit or get off the pot, which this is the perfect spot for me in the best ball league to be in where I don't have any urgency to like do something. I kind of let everything come to me. Mm-hmm. If there's a deal that pops up within the next, week before the season starts, again, Adam, that pushes me more to that contender side, yeah. Then you're going to see it, man, with 4 first-round picks in the next couple of years. We didn't really talk about Peaberg All-Stars picks.
No, well, I was going to say, but I was going to pull the lab back up. I just wanted to say, I think it's important here to have some, accountability. All right, last week you called me out for talking about possibly orphaning the team. All right, I mean, for God's sakes, how do you sleep at night? I mean, are you commissioning this league?
Nope, it's our boy K-Bach.
How is there not collusion?
Collusion.
This guy in the lab at this moment is close to this thing that we have the dead last. Imagine if that says Tet McMillan and one of Ryan Williams or Jeremiah Smith.
Ooh, there you go.
Well, right now, from a projected standpoint, Mike, you could take this down and say, projected Jeremiah Smith or Ryan Williams. Are you fucking high?
You like that?
Who is Mike, where do you find these people? These lead chip eating.
They come to me. They come to me.
I just wanted to say with some accountability that is an orphan that's gonna be a bitch to take over. Holy crap!
Well, shout out to Peaberg All Stars too, because after he makes the deal, he says, "I can't wait to get roasted on the trade show." So he knew it was coming.
Peaberg, if it wasn't gonna be Mike, which he didn't want to, I got you, buddy.
I was
take care
being
of
gentle.
that.
I was being gentle. Yeah.
Speaking of letting them come to you, that's gentle.
Just let them come to me.
Oh. Mike, this poor guy. Peaberg. This is an uphill battle, buddy. You're swimming upstream.
It happens, man. It happens.
The good news is he has Dimes and A-Rich. He's got this.
He's got both. Stacking them up.
All right. I can't. Let's talk about another Dallas Cowboy that just got not traded in real life, but traded on the trade show here, buddy. Obi-Wan Kenobi is getting Bucky Irving, Stephon Diggs, and Dak Prescott. We are also receiving from Rhett Dad, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Higgins, Bashaw Tootin, and a 26-second. Mike, where are you at in the lineup? Start 10 here.
So
let's talk about your buddy McCarthy at the top. Is that where you're going to go or somewhere different?
Dynasty value, it's McCarthy over Prescott.
Sure. But
and
how much, though?
Diggs isn't enough.
God, no. But Bucky's too much.
Bucky's too much. But if I got a Higgins back, I think we can dynasty value. Let's cancel that baby out, right?
So
McCarthy and Higgins, or Bucky and Prescott.
Mike, I think I would need Higgins and Tootin at minimum.
Think you need both? Okay.
To move
I
off.
I like Higgins quite a bit. I like Higgins quite a bit in that offense being the number 2.
It's not that I don't. Let me try to make sure I'm not trying to be dismissive to Higgins, but Bucky right now, Mike, is like, and maybe he's just overvalued in Dynasty. I'll say that's where I feel he is, but his Dynasty value at the moment is that of quarterback territory, honestly. So to me,
Get in
that's
there.
where I think, Mike, I'll tell you the truth. In a lineup start 10, I might be willing to send Tootin, Higgins a second, and McCarthy to get back Bucky and Dak alone. Forget the dig side.
Oh, being spicy.
I
If
am.
I'm a contender, I want the OV side, right?
Right.
But if I'm
Agreed.
any kind of rebuilding team or in the middle, I'm taking the JJ McCarthy, Tootin, Higgins in the second and just running as fast as I can, which is a lot faster now that I don't weigh as much.
Well, let me ask you this. Trying to talk serious and have that going on. How am I supposed to putt with all this going on, Doug? Mike, here's my question to you. I think I agree with the sentiment. I guess Tootin, I think Bashaw Tootin's kind of a little bit of he's throwing a wrench in this for me. Because on a rebuild, I don't know that I feel like if Tootin was out of the deal and we're telling me it's a pick that's similar to him, I probably feel great about it. Now I feel like I got to flip though. If I have the Tootin thing going,
You do. If Tootin comes in, we don't know too. Like right now, he's kind of buried on the depth chart.
He's their
right?
RB3 supposedly, and we'll see what happens.
It's real ambiguous, but he's also one game away from breaking a 60 or 70-yard run, and it's like, oh, well, look at him now.
The
He's
Dynasty World freak out, right?
now he's getting 30% opportunity, or he's getting 40% opportunity. He's could be Bucky Irving of last year,
100%.
right? Like you can see that, but I'm not gonna like hold out hope for it, Adam. I got my finger on the trigger, ready for it to start to come. Where it goes, oh wow, Tootin really is that guy, and all of a sudden we're talking about, can I get a first for him? And if you can take Tootin on an ascension and turn him into a first, this is an easy smash for me on the JJ McCarthy side. But to your point, if that doesn't come to fruition, like kind of how I was talking shit about your boy Dylan Sampson last night, if that doesn't come to fruition, you're going to be lucky to get a third for him, right? Like you're going to be lucky to get a third.
That's where, like, I don't know. I guess if I'm making a deal like this personally, I think what I'm looking for is a little bit different liquidity coming back. Frankly, I like if it's Higgins in the second, I can get behind it. Tootin to me feels like, because Mike, this was actually a comment on last trade show or a week prior, okay, and it was trading Bijan to try to get Bijan back is goofy shit, and that's where, like, to me, it's like, if you hit on Bucky or you have that, I'm not looking to go try to re-roll and get Bucky again. That's a recipe for an L, right?
Right. I would say on this one though, once you get over to the lab, it'll make a lot more sense on why these two made this deal. And once we get the context on it, Adam, I say, good job by both of you. Great job, right? Great job, because Obi is a contending team. Rhett is not. Rhett is like, fuck it. We're going for upside. We're going for break pieces up into multiple things. And as much as we like Bucky and he's getting hyped up right now, let me just play a little devil's advocate. What if Bucky has a bad year? Like, what if fucking Rashad White becomes this Najee Harris fucking just pain in the side of everyone who wants Bucky to be the 70% or the 80%, or to be like, man, look at the workload. That's similar to Kyron. That's similar to what Barkley's getting, or Derrick Henry, and he never quite reaches that. If we go a full season where he is hovering around like RB13, RB14, RB15, somewhere around there, and this damn Rashad White is still like a pain in it, the dynasty value is going to start getting chipped away. It's going to, like, the luster is going to start to get, damn it. This is not what I thought I was paying for. And if that becomes the case, man, an older Dak Prescott, a Stephon Diggs that's like a 1-year rental, a Bucky, if Tootin has any kind of ascension, if Jaden Higgins is as good as I think he is and starts to have that ascension, and JJ McCarthy, I mean, there's a lot of more what ifs on the side, but I'm willing to play the what if games, especially if I'm not competing. I don't need solid production. I need fucking home runs, right? Like, I need to take could I have the next Bucky Irving, right? Could I have the next Nico Collins? Could I have the next, holy shit, JJ McCarthy really is a top 12 dynasty quarterback. Lock him in. He does everything. I need those kind of big swings. I don't need to sit on older assets that could get chipped away in dynasty value.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm looking at this is, to me, again, Now, granted, this is all going to start weighing into the situation more, right, as we're talking about it through the lab. This is such an Obi smash in my personal estimation, dude. Like, the J.J. McCarthy upside swing definitely exists, so I get it for the rebuilding side of this for sure, right? But this is where, Mike, if you tell me I get stability in Dak Prescott, but what if Drake Maye hits now? Like, I don't care about the J.J. McCarthy thing anymore, right, in a way. Like, I'll take Dak Prescott stability and upside, honestly, in production, right? And if Drake Maye ends up being him in any capacity, I can move either one now. This is where, to me, it's just crazy, buddy. And then the same principle with Bucky Irving. One of the things I'll say, Mike, is that in lineup start 10, see, the more I can consolidate and the bigger that allure is from one piece, Mike, I think the play here for me, if I'm Obi, I'm 4D'ing the fuck out of this some way, shape, or form, dude. Because I still have Travion Henderson on the bench. I think right now, in your starting lineup, you feel a lot better maybe the early parts of the season, just rolling out Bucky and rolling out Chase until you figure out what Travion Henderson's workload looks like. But, man, I think a Bucky Irving or a Chase Brown or a Travion Henderson, one of those, allows you to pivot into like a stupid wide receiver asset. I think you're going to get a lot closer to that than Jaden Higgins a second and Tootin gets you to. So this is to me, this has a lot of finesse from the Obi side, personally. You're on mute, Big Dog.
If you were Rhett in this situation as a rebuilder,
yeah,
what more would you have needed to make this deal? How about that? For the question?
That's a good way to put it. I think you're a little tougher if you're in Rhett's shoes, obviously, right? Like Obi has the chips, so it's easier when you have the big stack at the poker table, to play that hand up. Here's what I'll say. To me, in the moment, I would like to have Bucky Irving playing again. Like if I'm selling off a player like him and his caliber, I agree 100% full-heartedly with what you're saying, Mike. There's more likely than not his value will come down. But to me, it's just a slight timing issue. Like, people are waiting for their football dopamine hit to come in a big way, Mike. Bucky Irving, the first couple weeks, keeps up. I think you're going to be able to command a return that isn't, and let's go back to the trade here. I don't want to call this nickel and diming because Jaden Higgins is a legit asset. A second is a legit asset, but I think Bucky commands over a regular first as it is. So the swap to J.J. McCarthy and Dak is nice, but I feel like you got a little bit too much of the value stored in just that one asset here back, where I'd rather have J.J., right, and then Bucky on this build, but I feel like too much of the value still is stored in that one spot, personally for me. So I would have liked to have received going for a first asset or a higher than Jaden Higgins asset. Like, what does Obi have on his team? Let me see. I don't know if Obi had the assets, frankly, because I want Travion Henderson. I would have preferred to go to another buyer, is what I'm saying, if that makes sense.
What about tossing in a Royal or a Ferguson or something like that?
Maybe, but what I'm probably swinging for here, Mike, is another. You could go the quantity play and just hope that you get, multiplying assets, right? You hope that a Royal has a game or a Ferguson. But Mike, I'm trying to get to a first. I'm trying to get these three pieces to get to a real first in value or a player that has that type of pedigree. That's what I'm preferring to get back personally.
I got you.
It could be semantics. It could be better to break up these assets and end up having that. But in lineup start 10, I want consolidation. I want to get here's the way I would
on a lot.
Yeah,
we agree on a lot, but this is also these fine nuances too. When we find ourselves on opposite ends of the spectrum, contenders and rebuilders, that lends us to being able to get more deals done, right? Yeah. Because, vice versa, if I'm the rebuilder and you're the contender on this one, like you don't haggle with me that much on you're like, fuck it, this is good enough.
Let's get it done for sure.
And I don't got to haggle with you like, I need you to kick in this and I need you to kick in this.
Let me give you one finer point that I think is to this conversation that I think is important to note. Okay, when I'm rebuilding, right? Let's go back to the lab just quickly. Okay, Mike, you move off of Bucky. I kind of look when I'm rebuilding, especially, what are my big chips that I can sell for a king's ransom back? Mike, look at my roster now. Where's that going to come from?
No. No.
My point is, I only have so many assets that have that really desirable tag. And I feel like I just got off of one, and I didn't necessarily get one back. In a rebuild, I feel like that's another thing you got to notice. Like, where is my leverage? Because you probably don't have much, and I don't want to get off of only the very little bit I have in a scenario like this. So it's not a horrible deal. It makes sense in values. I'm not trying. I don't want to go too crazy with the critique, but that's where my rub is, if that makes sense. Pause, but
confirmation bias. Adam hates JJ McCarthy.
There you have it. I only stacked him, but I hate
Breaking
McCarthy.
news. Too long didn't read. Adam hates JJ McCarthy.
In the comments, you know it's true, okay? Oh, no. Kyle Pitts is back?
And Bill.
Buddy. See, this is where it can pay off on the other end, the Rhett side, because you can sell multiple assets off of hype. You can. Buddy, Kyle Pitts has no hype remaining. But Bill Krosky Merritt, my friend, has all the hype that the world could ever
all of it
fathom. Because you're trading a gold jacket, Xavier Restrepo, and a first here. Like, this is child's play.
The Restrepo thing, the fucking, I don't know if he got picked up or on a practice squad or whatever.
Action. You're a patron. I've gotta see, like, this is where I'll tell you, just when I think I'm giving our patrons too hard of a time, like I'm harassing them.
Yep.
I find out I'm not being hard enough.
We're not.
Like,
we need to do better.
This is what we've talked about. This fucking microphone right here, Mike, this one, has heard me say how many times, you've listened to it, stop selling your first right now. It's the worst time. Okay. This trade could work out, absolutely. Pitts could come back. He could get traded to a new team, whatever the case may be. Krosky Merritt could be one of those day 3 picks that finds himself in a perfect spot and goes crazy. Mike, those things better happen. Those things better happen. I'm sending a first.
Especially when you figure out where that first is, because it's not his.
I can't. Don't tell me these things. I'm not ready for this. Why?
Especially when you figure out what that team looks like. Who has that first?
Hey, Action, I just need you to know this, okay? I love you. I mean this. Sometimes tough. Love is tough. This isn't helping people want to go to the Patreon right now, okay?
Mm-mm.
This is, like...
Here's the great thing, man.
How does this happen? Honestly.
We got 2 points on this one that we're going to make. And we're going to help people out, right? Action, SJ... Listen, if you don't want to listen to any of it, I'll just tell you lost this trade by a country fucking mile. Brain Danny.
Let's just go to the lab. Let's go to the lab because it's bad. It is. It's bad.
Turn it off now. You lost. It's terrible. But here, first off, just go look at Frank Hegg's team. I don't care what Actions is. It's not very good.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. At least you didn't send your own, because look at your team. You're dead last acquiring Pitts and not a pick here.
Go look at Frankie's or Hank's or Frank's.
Yeah, Frank Heggs. Okay, so
scroll up to the starters, Adam.
Wow, we got Jonnu, Slayton, Lockett, and Gesicki in the lineup. Now we got CD, Hunter Henry. I need to understand how this makes any sense.
Just a lot of names that are dead on this team. Okay, second part, Adam. We're going to fast forward to this one too, because I just pointed out you traded away what is potentially a very early first-round pick next year for Kyle Pitts.
This is a top 6 pick. This is a top 6 pick.
Easily. This is probably a top 4 pick.
I'm saying conservatively, this is not a playoff team.
This is a top 4 pick. All right, now pull up the WoRP on this one. This is the second problem I see far too often. And this is why the WoRP tool is very important, right? worp.life. We keep trying to preach to people. Right there. See, it's up on the screen. worp.life. The problem we have with this, once Adam gets this league pulled up, is people see this 1.0 tight end premium. And the way these teams are built with these fucking tight ends, people are putting far too much value in the tight end position because they look at the scoring settings and they're like, Well, if he was a wide receiver, he would have finished here. WoRP cuts through all the bullshit, Adam, right? Not only are the tight ends competing against themselves, but they're competing against all the other possibilities of flexes, right? All of them.
Correct.
Here's the thing. When you add tight end premium to it, it makes shitty tight ends somewhat relevant, okay? But it makes the other positions that are already relevant even more fucking relevant.
Correct. Yep.
Even more disparity. So you see a tight end line like this, where at the top, just like in almost any league, tight ends are pretty good.
Yeah.
But then it just turns into this clusterfuck of just find me a dude who's like basically on the two deep on a tight end depth chart, right? Who might catch 3 passes and maybe one of them's a touchdown. That'll do. That is all I need. So stop overpaying for tight ends because of your league scoring settings, especially when you go plug it into the WoRP tool and you see flat tight end lines like this that are far below the other skill position lines.
Right.
Stop overpaying and shooting yourself in the foot. This is just last year's AWARP for it, right? But look at these Kyle Pitts, right?
Yeah, Kyle Pitts was 14 here. Yeah.
86th. 86th overall.
He snuck in as the top 100 asset. Snuck in.
All right. Now pick like RB24. I'm saying Bill has a good year. RB24. Who is
Rico
that?
Dowdle.
Rico fucking Dowdle. Yes.
Najee Harris or Rico Dowdle. You pick your poison, okay? Just don't do the fireworks thing.
Throw yourself into last year. Would you pay a first at any given time for a Rico Dowdle and a Kyle Pitts?
And Mike, and that was a good running back year. Go to the multi-year WoRP here, right? Where you think about. I like to give last year in the visual for people that are maybe newer to the WoRP tool or haven't seen it. But Mike, if you think about it from the 5-year standpoint, buddy, running back 24 is, lower than both of those players were last year by a little bit, right? Like, Mike, even then, Kyle Pitts. Here's the thing: Krosky Merritt needs to be not just a top 24 running back, Mike, but needs to probably be a top 18 running back, maybe top 15 running back. Kyle Pitts needs to get back at some point quickly here to this top 6 range, which I'll be honest, man. Kyle Pitts, there's no sign of life really brewing for him. Now, I'm not saying he's not talented and it couldn't happen, but this bet doesn't warrant a first from a really well-built team, let alone, Mike, a team that's a,
mid
at best, arguably bad. And let me just say, let me go back to the lab because I know you wanted to go to WoRP tool, but I just want to make this point. Mike, if my team is here, if this is what my team is, okay, I have on this roster Drake Maye, Caleb Johnson, Dylan Sampson. I already got Dylan Sampson. I've got a similar thing to JCM on a build like this. I've got Pickens, Worthy, Addison, Freiermuth. It's been a long time, but people forget about the Pitts and Freiermuth in the 21 class, right? Like, that was a discussion. Look who's where. But Mike, this team needs so much. You know what it needs? It needs first-round picks.
It needs massive early picks, right?
It needs first-round picks. And, Mike, I just help me understand this. I had one extra first-round pick. I had an extra one.
From another shitty team.
And you know what I did?
I gave it away.
I burnt that. It's not about money. It's about sending a message. I burned it. I lit it on fire.
It pulled the Joker from the Dark Knight. It's not about the money.
Yeah. What the?
Stop it. Bad deal.
All right. I'll be honest. I should have left my deal in the trade show. Damn it. That's tough.
Rough look.
Dude, that hurts me. I'll be honest, Action. That hurts me more than it hurts you. You don't even realize. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Krusty Land. Maybe it gets better in Krusty Land, Mike. I don't know. Jackson Dart in the first seems a bit aggressive for Kamara, Sutton, and Kyron, but where are you at here?
Jackson Dart in the first. That was fast. Sorry.
Yeah, talk to me about this, or do you want to make this the quickest deal in trade show history?
I understand in a best ball league, if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm taking really one asset, we have to start looking at picks as like in-season assets. Like they are very, very fucking important, right?
Sure.
Having first by like week 8, week 9, fucking trade deadline, that's gold. That is gold, right? So many more teams are ready to kick it in and like, fuck it, dude. I'll give you 3 players for this first. You take them all. And as a contender, I need more people in best ball leagues to hold their first with fucking diamond hands until like week 10. Okay? Just give me that. Unless you get a stupid deal. All right? You know what the next best asset in a best ball league to have? Superflex best ball league? A fucking young quarterback.
I was gonna say, it sounds like it's not gonna be Kyron. It sounds like it's not gonna be Kyron.
It's not Kyron Williams. It's not. I get the Kyron for the first thing.
Mike,
if you wanted to say as a contender, I want Kyron. I completely agree. I don't know if I'm necessarily ready to just go like, fuck yeah, I'm putting all the chips in on Kyron this year.
If you can say that though, don't you think on a contender in just a 1-for-1 scenario, you could make the Dart for Kyron debate?
Yes, you could. You could.
Okay, all right. So that's all I wanted to say. Yeah,
you could. And then but
here's the problem. Let's just stick with because I'll be honest. I think on this show, and I think even you, relative to me, you're going to put Dart higher than most. So let's just, for the sake of argument here, use the first in Kyron. Like, is that the closer of the two market, I think, right, at the moment?
Closer. Yep.
I'll be honest, Dart for Sutton and Kamara in best ball isn't crazy, but it does feel like, I'll just say this, it feels like you're betting on assets that are getting long in the tooth. You are getting the 2-for-1 piece here, but it's just a value installation point that I think is tough for me to take on right now. That's where I'm at. Like, I personally like this deal a lot more in October, November.
Yes, I do. When you know more information, your team has really solidified itself on whether it's good or not.
Right.
You understand where your holes are. Early September, Mr. Wonderful has made some really wonderful deals on this show. The last couple that he's put on here, I'm like, help me.
Can I tell you?
Help you.
Yeah, well, can I tell you? Let me help you understand this, right? See, this is where I'm going to do this next year around this time as a little bit of a series. Mike, here's what happens. Everybody, all this process that we practice what we preach. We do all this stuff. And you know what everyone does in August, July? They get so trigger happy. You undo a lot of it.
The little engines that can't hold their load.
Right. And Mike, here's the thing. This is the problem too. There are trades like this one that just went down that do pay off, but that doesn't mean it's the right process.
Yes. It's a bad process.
But the problem is that masks that it was a bad process because the result was clean. You see what I'm saying? Like, that trade could end up being fine if Kamara stays healthy, if Sutton stays healthy. And now you think that the trade was a genius move, where in reality, if we're just talking about from a process standpoint, you blew your load a little early.
He did. And Mr. Wonderful has a great best ball team on here, right? Like, it doesn't necessarily show because you're looking at the lab is ranking it by projected starters, right? So it puts them at 6. But then the next one is your projected top 5 in your bench, by far and away the best.
Yeah,
right?
It's cleaning the field. Right.
A great best ball team. He had a quarterback hoard too. He had a surplus of quarterbacks. I understand.
This is one of those. This is one of those that are in best ball. You don't even have to call it a hoard. This is just a functional ass quarterback room, right?
It's a functional ass quarterback room, right? He's got a great best ball team. He does. He's got a great best ball team, and I understand. I can make it a little bit better. Here's the thing: why? Why do it now when your team is still going to be almost the exact same good to start the season? Why not wait until we know, Adam, even like these good best ball teams, he's going to take hits, right? There's going to be a stud of his that underperforms. There's going to be a dude here or a couple dudes here who are injured or get suspended because they wanted to go out after a win and, they drive drunk, right? There's going to be shit that's going to happen.
As you're saying that, though, that almost you could argue makes a little bit more of a case or makes it more sense for the other side where you've added 3 stable players to your roster now to help offset some of those. in the early parts. Here's the reason I say that.
Can't you get that same fucking deal done in 6 weeks?
Yes, but here's the difference in where I think this, if your understanding of it and your process play is strictly this is the only way I could argue it, Mike. When you look at the rest of your teams, we'd have to do this. You say, this gets me closer to locking up a buy. That's the only way. Because in the first 6 weeks, you got points in your lineup that get you edging over the field. That's the only way. Like, because in 6 weeks, I think you can get the deal done. But if you're telling me that you think your team now takes on 3 losses during those 6 weeks, that's the only way. I still prefer to wait, I think. But I could understand if you're saying, hey, these 3 assets are going to make my team really, really fucking hard to beat early in the year and lock me up to a playoff bye week.
And I think I can lock myself into a bye by week 6 too, when I have other teams in the league that are starting to hit the eject button. You know what I mean? My options all of a sudden on who I can trade Jackson Dart in a first, which is going to be more appealing to these teams hitting the eject button by week 6. I'm probably getting a better package back, to be honest. Like, I might get 4 assets. I might get 5 assets out of that.
Yeah, you might get a better return, but has your team sustained 3 losses is, I think, the question, right? And that's where it I'm not even saying that that's the case, that his for sure is. But that could be the difference in getting a bye later. If Mike, you can't tell me that in the future you're probably not getting a better return once Dart is becoming the starter or closer to becoming the starter. I would definitely agree. And also someone might value a first of your own team, which is a contending first, that's having to rebuild in the middle of the season. So
I'm sitting here looking at it too, and I don't know if I've ever said these words out loud on the fucking trade show. Rare dub from Matty Gomes. Rare dub from Matty Gomes. I love it. He's like, fuck it, this team was old and shit. Dude, yeah, you want Kamara, you want Sutton, you want Kyron Williams? On my rebuilding team, give me a first-round drafted rookie quarterback who's played really well this preseason. And let me get your pick, right? Let me bet against your fucking team. Let me get your first. Because even if that's the 110, 111, 112 next year, come April, people are going to want that fucking draft pick, buddy.
No, well, and the other thing, too, is I think the massive overarching point that is a tiebreaker that leans to Matty Gomes' side here, or the rebuilding side of this deal every time. Do you know what Kamara, Sutton, and Kyron Williams could do to my pick selection?
Correct. They could fuck it up.
They absolutely could make this a 104 versus a 101 or 2. A million times out of a million.
That first-round pick ain't scoring points for me. Jackson Dart, as Russ is holding him off, ain't scoring points for me.
And this is where I think the 4D chess play is, Mike. I'll tell you the truth. With an asset like Dart, I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this, and that's okay if you don't. I think the moment he's playing, I'm looking to flip again. Out of process. I sat him, I'm flipping him again. I'm getting more for my dollar. I'm almost it's literally like an artificial bump in value that I'm securing a locked-in point of.
Week 7, Jackson Dart's named the starter, right? Right.
I treat it as he's got to go.
The first son of a bitch give me 2 first-round picks, he's yours. Out the door.
Right.
I may be selling a little bit low because Jackson Dart could go to 3 first territory, right? He could be close to Bo Nix or Drake Maye or, J.J. McCarthy or whatever it is. I'm with you, right? I'm already tanking, all right? I got 0 points from him. Perfect. He's starting. Somebody want to give me 2 first for him? You have him. I'll sell at 80%, buddy.
My goal is to make sure he gets less than 2 full games of points on my roster.
And hypothetically, let's say you got close to 2 first, or you got the 2 first. Now
or a first and a player that's something of that archetype, right?
There you go.
Sure.
Yeah, but now you've turned Kamara, Kyron Williams, Cortland Sutton into 3 liquid first,
and that is
scored 0 points in the process.
That is the 4D play. Thank you. Exactly. Yep. But
Genius.
Period. That's Mike. That's how in best ball. That's how you get to multiple of those. You get to a shit-looking team, a rusty tromboners. You literally are playing up this market game of I cannot score points and I'm just crushing value into my. I'm jamming it into my roster.
And then the casuals out there will give you shit about you perennially being a rebuilder until you come and you win the next 4 fucking years because nobody can compete with you.
And when I lose,
then the league folds.
Yeah, and then the year I do lose, it's a joke because I'd won 20 games before, and it's like
shout out Liebert.
God damn it, Bert.
Upset of the century.
Canada. Oh, Canada. Son of a bitch. I'm with Trump on this. All right, well, build a wall.
Keep Liebert away from Adam.
All right, Mike. Matty Gomes? Are you gonna undo what you just did?
Everything nice we just said about you.
I hadn't seen his sleeper picture, Mike, until just now.
Right.
Like I hadn't seen him on a trade. Isaac Tesla.
He's in there.
A first and a second, Mike, from Gingy, which we got to get another person's first and second involved in the deal here. Everyone wants to trade other people's picks. That's the other thing, too. What's going on here? Mike, RJ Harvey. If you tuned in last night to AMA, well, right now, if you're watching this or you watched AMA last night, go hit the hype button. Hit the new hype button for us with the like and the subscribe, huh? Go show us some love. Boost it up. Mike, RJ Harvey, who was a polarizing conversation last night. Njoku and Shaheed, or a first, second, and Tesla.
All right,
Krustyland, let's stay in the same league.
Stay in the same league. A first and a second, or RJ Harvey, Adam, for you?
I will take a first and a second opposed to Harvey. Me first, too. I think, is a conversation. First and a second, I'm out.
I know.
Let me say this, especially in best ball. If you wanted to, like, that was the risk you wanted to take in lineup, it's probably too much for me. But in best ball, there's no way I'm multiplying assets, too, to do this. No way.
No. Shaheed, Njoku, Tesla. Like you want Njoku and Shaheed.
To me, I'll take Njoku over Tesla, honestly, even.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And let me ask you this. If we did it this way, Mike, let me ask you straight up. I want to dissect it this way. A first or Harvey, where are you at?
Probably Harvey.
Cancel? Okay. Are they
probably
close enough
Harvey.
to cancel?
They're close enough you could cancel them. Right?
So then what about Njoku in a second? Where you want?
If I'm any kind of like rebuilder, I'll probably take the second, just because of the whole listen, I know Njoku can score points and we like him and the whole works. If I'm any kind of a contender, I think that's a gift, though. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's where you.
The reason I like the way this is going. I think you could. I think what you could do is cancel these out all the way in theory. But I think that the Who's side got a little bit of a gift if you said it was just a first for Harvey. A little bit of gift if you said it was just a second for Njoku. And then Shaheed and Tesla all swap and say fuck it.
Fuck it. And I think I know it's best ball. Shaheed was coming on strong before he got injured, right? Like he was the Scott Fishbowl darling.
The kick return yards. The kick return mania.
The fucking darling. He was coming on. I honestly say though, like if you had to make me choose between the two, I think the upside resides in Tesla. Like it does.
That's fine.
Does.
But I'm saying I'll take the win of Harvey versus a first and the win of Njoku versus a first on a contender, and I'll let you have and I'll sacrifice Tesla for Shaheed.
Yeah.
Because here's the biggest thing for me, Mike. I'm just going to be honest about this, especially in best ball. Actually, you know what? Do we have it up? I'll pull up the WoRP here for this. But when we go to the WoRP tool, in best ball especially, Mike, I think it's important to just talk about how the way I look at it is receivers like this in the archetype that I'm kind of viewing them as. I'm running the WoRP here for this league, but that's not the right one. I need Krustyland. Damn it. Why'd I have to go showing off like that? So when I pull up Krustyland and do the WoRP on it, Mike, more often than not in best ball, I'm not projecting either one of these receivers to really be top 24 wide receivers, right? Being completely honest, right? I think these are wide receiver 36 and beyond. Yes. Honestly, Mike, it's the same I just need one of these. I don't care about the difference in best ball between these two assets in production. They're not. They offset.
They don't matter. Yep.
The only thing you're seeding is if Tesla actually gets some dynasty value. Like, look at it. Look at this fucking WoRP line, buddy. Like, once I get to here, I don't give a shit if it's 30 or 48. It's the same thing. So
same picture.
The difference is you are seeding, though, Mike. If this Tesla hype train actually gets steam, that's where I guess that's what I would say is what you're losing out on, right? Like, if that gets steam, there's dynasty value there that Shaheed just can't get to anymore. But
I think it's one of those rare deals for both these guys, right? Again, another Matty Gomes rebuilder and another Who's contender. Like, I don't know if Dan has ever like rebuilt a team.
Well, I've seen him try. I don't know if it's like a mechanic. Have you ever really rebuilt transmission? Have you ever done it or no?
Yeah, I don't think he has. I like it for both of them, right? Because it makes sense. It does make sense. Where I'm okay as a rebuilder going like a first or Harvey. Shit, you have Harvey. Like, good luck with that. I'll take the liquidity.
Yes.
A second or Njoku as a rebuilder for me, if I can get off tight ends for meaningful draft picks in basketball, fuck, take them.
Mike, I'll be honest. I think I'm still trying to squeeze a little more out of you, but I would settle on a second for Njoku if I'm rebuilding. I would need to do that. Sure. Yeah.
And then the Tesla Shaheed thing, I touched on that, where like all the upside play resides in the Tesla thing.
Yeah, the Dynasty market is very capped on Shaheed at this point off of the injury now. Like, I think there was actually some steam last year. Well, sure. I would say, though, the quarterback might be beneficial. Like, fuck, I just got to get it to Shaheed in the first 5 yards because that's all I can do, But
just fuck it. He's down there somewhere. Just chuck it down there.
But no, I mean, the one piece of this deal, though, let me just say, I think the same thing you can say about Tesla there, though, Mike, it really does. Where it really has most momentum and steam is on the Who side in Harvey, right? Because we can go to the lab, actually, for a tiebreaker. How well built is the Who's team, I think, is the other question. I'm sorry, Gingy's team. We need to dig this up, buddy. Let's dig this up.
Gingy is a good starting roster.
Oh, the bench is a little... Well, we've got Mariota. We've got Brisket, burnt. We've got Pickett, burnt. It's okay.
The bench is a little...
It's not great. This has some steam. So the first has some upside too, but because the reason I say, Mike, there's a very real world, whether you agree or disagree as far as like it's going to happen, there's a very real world for RJ Harvey, whether it's an injury or he starts to outplay and takes over the role, where he's valued as a top 12, 10 running back at some point in the year, right?
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy to say. No.
But that type of upswing is huge, right? It's huge in the RJ Harvey thing. The same principle for Tesla, right? If he has a dynasty market bump, RJ Harvey gets to a running back 10. Mike, all bets are off as far as what you could cross-positionally trade him for, another running back you could trade him for to really lock in a huge amount of value.
The only caveat I will make on it is if this is, let's just say it's like the 108, 109 next year, right? Somewhere in that. A lot of people talk down about how bad the 26 class is. But listen, I'm in the mock draft streets, the actual, like, the people out there doing it. And there's so much shit that's going to change with the college football season that kicked off like fucking 30 minutes ago,
Yeah.
Officially
as,
week
as
1. We're out of week 0. We're into week 1. Boise State's playing.
As week 1's here and we're watching. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot that can change. But, Adam, man, I'm seeing mock drafts with like 6 quarterbacks in the first round, and a running back and like 3 wide receivers. But everybody's talking about how bad the 26 class is. All I'm saying is if this is the 108, 109, maybe not for you and me because we're going to have them a lot higher. But what if you like fell into a Lenore Sellers at like the 108, the 109 next year?
I don't think it's happening, but yeah, that's crazy. Sure.
No matter if Harvey smashes to the point where he's a top 10 running back in dynasty value, Adam, there's going to be still an out where, dude, I'm landing a rookie first-round drafted quarterback in the 26 class with this what we thought or assumed was a mid-pick. I mean, hey, Jackson Dart at times this year was like going in the second round of this class.
At times, I mean, for most leagues, he was a 111 to 203 pick.
We see this time and time again, man. Like, if I can get a first-round rookie quarterback with this first-round pick that's in this deal,
yeah,
I'm going to feel bad during the season if RJ Harvey's smashing to, like, Bucky Irving levels. Fuck me. This sucked.
Why?
You're going to feel bad
because you could have got another one. You could have got another one. What if you got 2 darts? That's the upside.
But in the same sense, when it comes around and rolls around to fucking May rookie draft, and I'm out there just like, look, dude.
Then you're like, well, I didn't lose that bad. I didn't lose that bad.
Like when we get to August, their startup ADPs are going to be pretty fucking close. All right,
exactly.
We're still pushing. And that's where I like the safety net of it with that first involved.
that's where people don't necessarily think all the way through on the draft pick value and the insulation it typically has. In a first round. A second round is totally different, Mike. What the 212 can look like is very... I don't care how great you think the class is, how awesome you thought 23 was, 24 was. The 212 didn't carry anywhere near what the first round did. It's totally different. So let's get out of Krusty Land, though. My head is fucking spinning from Krusty Land. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll shoot you straight.
If this was a Krusty Land trade, we're ending the show.
Well, holy shit, buddy. Michael Penix, Garrett Wilson, a first in 2 seconds. But, Mike, I don't know if this is on the news or before the news of the Rashee Rice, but holy crap, man.
Got to be before. It just happened yesterday.
Jamar Chase, Rashee Rice. It probably was before, you're right. But Jamar Chase and Rashee Rice or Garrett Wilson, Penix, a first in 2 seconds. Lineup start 11. Where are you at here?
Well, Wilson or Rice. That's pretty fucking easy, ain't it?
Yeah, I would have had them in the similar tier before the suspension. I think now it's definitely Wilson. No question.
Not even close.
Yeah. Like, if you told me Rashee Rice was playing all year, I think you could argue for him. But I really don't think with 6 games of suspension, there's no way you could argue that for not.
What's the difference between the two? Like separation. Let's put a draft pick value on it.
Is it a second? First? I was going to say, is it a second or a first? I don't know. Is it 2 seconds?
It's probably 2 seconds.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's cancel that.
It's got to be 2 seconds, right?
So Garrett Wilson in 2 seconds. The problem is the 2 seconds are on the other side.
Right. So we're adding 2 more seconds to this deal, essentially, is what we are.
Okay. So, well, how about this then? For the sake of this, or how do you want to compare now? What is Chase to Penix? And I think Chase is worth at least Penix in a first, might even be worth more.
I think it might be 2 firsts for most people.
There you go. Okay.
So at the end of the day, then the question becomes: we got 2 extra seconds that don't show up on here because there's a difference between
an extra
Wilson
first
and Rice.
And what's the difference between 2 seconds and a first?
Is 4 firsts or 4 seconds worth 1 first? There's the $1 million question.
Yeah.
Think so?
In a start 11, I think so. I think you'd say I would say no in like a start 9 or 10.
Yep. You start to get those deeper ones. I think if I was on the clock, let's say 107, and somebody had 4 second-round picks, I don't even give a fuck. 204, 206, 208, 210. You want those 4, or do you want this 108? I think I'd probably take the seconds more times than not in the deeper leagues because there's so many more chances to hit.
Yeah, I think it's actually in best ball. There's not even a discussion. I think in lineup start 11, it's a good conversation. I think if you have the correct team build, you could say I'm willing to up tier and just take this 108 if there's a player you really like.
Yep.
But I also think if you just take the assets in the seconds there, you're going to hit a Bucky. You're going to hit. You find yourself hitting one of those, Mike. Here's the thing. You need to hit 25% of those in a big way, and the 75% don't matter. Like, you hit one of those to – how many players – Mike, we can go on and on about players like this. T. Higgins was a second-round pick. Michael Pittman was a second-round pick. His value went up and down. But there's so many players were second, third-round picks that if you shoot your shot on 4 of them, you got to be pretty unlucky to not hit one. Right?
You got to be pretty bad at what you're doing in order to not hit. I think this really just comes down to the fact that Schlumpf made this trade before the Rashee 6-game suspension, right?
Yep.
Before he starts going down in dynasty value, which is going to happen.
Sure.
It's going to happen. Out of sight, out of mind, man. Out of sight, out of mind. If we grade this trade a week ago,
it's Chase not close.
It's chasing the right side, and it's probably not close. And I love Penix to death. I think Wilson is, I'm not going to say undervalued, but he's kind of being slept on a little bit. All right?
Let me say this, too, though. I agree with you. As I'm thinking, as you're talking through this, Mike, I just wanted to say this point. I think in Dynasty, knowing that Rashee isn't suspended forever, I'm okay even if you told me I kind of lose on the surface, and I know his – this is where I'm curious to see what happens. We can't say for certain. I think his value is going to end up recovering by the time the 6-game suspension's over. And that's where it's like, all right, I may have lose a little today on the surface, but it's going to come back. I think the wild card is what if Garrett Wilson plays like DJ Moore did in 2023 with Justin Fields, shit, buddy. All bets are off as to what his asset goes to.
Right.
But I think right now he's pretty heavily discounted.
He is. He's heavily discounted. One of these, I'll say again, we've had a lot of contender rebuilder deals on opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mike, this is that time. People
It,
are ready.
it makes sense for both teams, right? Like if I'm going to push in my draft capital, it better be for something that starts or rhymes with Chase. You know what I mean? Like you better be in that category. I better be getting a Jalen Hurts, a Josh Allen, a Jaden Daniels, a Lamar Jackson, a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, a fucking CeeDee Lamb. Like if I'm going to do this shit, I'm not doing it for, Rashi Rices and Garrett Wilsons of the world, right? I don't want to pick on them, but they're right here in front of me. So I'm not doing it for Kyron Williams. I'm not doing it for these kind of Jonathan Taylors of the world. I'm not doing it for that kind of shit. I'm doing it for those. Listen, Chase is going to hold value for a very, very long time, right? Very long time.
For sure.
I need outs. I need outs if I'm pushing my draft picks in. One, I'm looking for elite production, but two, I'm also looking if this goes sideways, can I still get out of this and recoup value? It has to be one of those assets. It can't be somebody who I'm like, well, the production's good, but if something bad happened to them, where do they go from here? And if the answer is in the shitter, I'm keeping my picks. And then on the other side, we'll go, whoa, dude's rebuilding, right? Like, it sucks, but sometimes the only way to kick off a rebuilder is to be like, fuck it, man. Jamar Chase, you got to go, man. I need to diversify into a Wilson, a Penix, first, multiple seconds, right? Like, I got to kick this shit off good because Chase ain't doing nothing but fucking up my draft pick right now, and I'm holding all this value in one consolidated piece.
You said recoup, and it made me think we got to go to the WoRP tool. We've got to go to the WoRP tool, speaking of recoup. Coop. Mike, here's the thing. I was thinking about this, and when you said that, I immediately knew where I needed to go. To me, Penix is – I'll say this about Penix at the moment. If you heard me last year, I'll take my dubs when I get my dubs, okay? I told you fuckers. You didn't listen. They didn't even last the whole season. But that was where, Mike, I was kind of out of the Penix business as an asset, meaning I'm willing to cash out now that he's the starter. And the reason is because it's a very league-dependent thing.
Similar to what you just talked about with Mr. Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart, thank you. Correct. It's the same Mike, the same principle, different player, right? Here's the thing. I think it's so league-dependent. Mike, do you see this WoRP?
Bad quarterback line.
Nope, I'm not taking Penix in this fucking deal. You can fuck off. Mike,
nope.
Penix has to hit a high range of his outcomes percentage-wise. He's got to hit a very high percentile to matter in this league.
Here's the things that are working against Michael Penix, too, for this league format. One, you're starting from not a very good place with quarterback WoRP, right? Let's acknowledge that one.
Yes.
That's not traditionally also the archetype of quarterback that can smash through the barriers and matter, right? He's not a runner. He actually refuses to run, right?
While his 40-yard dash may tell you he could run, he doesn't like to at all.
No, he's scared shitless.
But Mike, I mean, honestly, look at this WoRP line. You got to be a top 12 wide receiver. I'm sorry, top 12 quarterback to be
to beat out a
top
tight end.
24 wide receiver. Like
to beat out a tight end.
Dude, it's
now we're good.
See, this is where you got. We can talk about deals until we're blue in the face, but it comes back to the WoRP tool to finish off.
Yeah, if I had this WoRP data in front of me when I'm making this deal, like I just made a giant case for the rebuilding side. You pull up the WoRP tool, which I would in the league. I'm not gonna fucking make a trade without understanding what the WoRP is in my league.
Right.
I tell Schlump to fucking kick rocks, man.
Yep. And if you've made this deal already, goat woat. I think it's more woat goat at the point, but
I come back to him and I go like, I'll give you a Garrett Wilson for Rashi in a couple seconds, or I'll give you fucking Rashee Rice. You give me Garrett Wilson in a couple seconds, something like that. But
yeah, and if this deal's already happened, you can't get out of it, right? My suggestion is Penix, I think, is a type of asset that still this year will have some good weeks. Capitalize.
As soon as somebody gets interested, I'll give you 2 firsts for him.
Be in the business of moving on from the Penix. It's a premature Penix deal, Get out.
Premature. Premature penis ejection.
Exactly. Buddy.
Oh man, this came off the website. You can tell how shitty the screenshot is.
Dude, sleeper kind of like looks like MFL right here, no? I mean, look at that.
Well, they're putting about as much work into their website as MFL does, so.
Dude, Nico Collins' face. Poor guy.
Ugh. Yuck.
So grainy. All right, Mike. Speaking of Chase, he was last week's thumbnail. He, I believe, is the only asset to be in the deal twice, so we got to figure something out for the thumb this week. But Nico in a first or Chase here?
That Drake Maye deal was so good, we got to kick him off.
Drizzy. Okay, I can get behind it. What do you got with this deal, though?
Since fucking Dan won't put me on the trade show, Adam's got to like wedge me in at the last minute.
And get myself off?
Yeah.
It's all right. Where are you at?
That's what the caption should be, too. The who? You like that?
That is pretty good.
Snarky.
Would you take in a lineup start 11, the Nico in a first here?
More times than not, yes. More times than not, yes. You know how much I love down tiering Adam. And people will, he's worth way more than that. Chase is a god, right? Nico, we've seen be really good. Really good, right? Not Chase, though. He's not Chase. But, man, start 11, you talked about it. Like, start 9, I'd be a little bit more hesitant, Adam.
Yeah.
I'd be – start 10, I'm fence riding. You get to 11, 12, 13, best ball league.
Double down. I'll split them tens, man.
My process is split tens, man. I'm splitting tens. Give me Nico. Give me the first.
Yeah.
Universally across the board. I do this with just about any fucking asset other than the elite 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Because the next tier isn't fucking close. It's not close to him.
Yeah.
But Nico's like, what, 80% Chase? 85% Chase?
Well, here, Mike, let's just
pull up the WoRP tool on this one.
Let's go right back to WoRP because I know a place that they do this thing. And
you want to go where everybody knows your name?
Buddy, I think Nico's a top 10 asset. I think finishing top 10 is fair to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
3.619 versus, I mean, we're talking Triple Crown Chase 5.7. Like, I genuinely think, Mike, and here's the other thing. 4.7 to 3.7 is an easy dub here. So we could definitely see Jamar Chase not finish. The one thing about Chase as an asset, while absolutely value insulated out of this world, I mean, super hyper valuable, you can... If I can stay in elite territory range, where I think you could debate Nico. I think for some people he is. I think some people he's not. But if I'm staying in roughly that range, a Puka, a Nico, an Amon-Ra, and I get a first, unless it's a very shallow format, process-wise, it's probably a smart play. If I'm staying in the top 10 receiver range, that first probably is the way to go. No, more often than not. I'm not saying holistically it always is going to work, but... in a lineup start 11, I think so.
I'm gonna name off wide receivers. You tell me when you would not in a start 11 take it first.
Let's do it.
To go down from Chase, right?
Okay.
Jefferson.
With this WoRP on the screen, I'm using this league, right?
Yep. Jefferson.
Of course.
Neighbors.
I mean, I'll take them straight up.
Lamb.
Yep. Keep going.
Brian Thomas Jr.
I'm in.
Amon-Ra.
I'm in.
Puka.
Yep.
Drake London.
I have Nico and then Drake, and I think Drake is probably pushing it. I'm still taking it, though.
Lad.
No, that's my cutoff.
There's your cutoff. Okay. JSN, Marv.
Same conversation. I'm rocking Marv, but I think I'm holding Chase here. I'm holding Chase here. Yep. I think I would hold Chase from Lad, from JSN, from
So just
Marv.
for reference, to put it on, Adam, his cutoff would have been wide receiver 9.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
I'll take 9. That's where Drake London would have been for you, and you
would have been where I stopped. Yeah.
Yep.
And here's the reason. Let me tell you the reason. I think value insulation I think about an asset like Lad. Lad is more towards the crescendo, right? The peaking. He's got to prove to me he's not going to go down yet, right?
Got to stay stable.
Marv needs to prove production in a big way for me to believe in that type of a trade. Hugely.
And we haven't seen anything from Ted, right?
Uh-huh.
So we don't know. So
for me, right, that next tier that you just mentioned, it either isn't quite there in production, or I don't believe that it's here to stay as a dynasty asset.
Let me give you one caveat.
Okay.
You're a contender in a lineup start 11.
Yeah.
What about A.J. Brown in a first?
He would have been the one where I think you could make the case for it. Now, Mike, I'll say this. In best ball, I would do that. In lineup, I'll tell you the reason I wouldn't. Look, this goes to the same conversation as Ladd, right? If A.J. Brown gets hurt, what happens to that asset?
He tanks.
This is why I said the names I said, and I don't go past there. Because they all have a tanking ability, realistically. The asset has an out of bad news, right?
Which is man, how finicky we are as dynasty managers with age. Like how finicky we are.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
We're talking about a 1.5 year difference between Nico Collins and A.J. Brown.
And it's the 1.5 year of all the difference in the world, right?
It means the
because
fucking world.
This time next year, this is the other thing about this trade. This is why it's a little bit harder when you even look at this one. This time next year, making this trade again is going to feel a little, I don't know. How great did he play this year? Was he a top 5 receiver? Like, are we still worried that he's going to have these injury issues?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are going to be more of a conversation. Where right now, that 1.5 year, Mike, it's like, oh yeah, give me Nico. You know.
Here's the 4D thing that I like to do with the tear down, right? Like why I'm so on board with the chase, right? Because then I take Nico and I'm like, oh, well, this opens up a whole new list of wide receivers that I would take a first on top of Nico, right? And all of a sudden, I've gone from Chase to now, let's just say hypothetically, I'm at his teammate T. Higgins, but I have 2 firsts as well.
Mike, we shout out to the grind. You'll be seeing what we do in our grind process, Eric Vanek and myself, in this league. Mike, we essentially traded from Nico Collins down to the pick that became A.J. Brown. Although we didn't net a first, it was in a startup, we netted a first type pick. So now if you told me you're going to go chase to A.J. Brown and I'm getting 2 first, I'm willing to take the downside risk of A.J. Brown now because I got 2 firsts for it. Right?
Multiple outs.
I can now buy JSN for 2 firsts if the worst case scenario happens here, right? So to your point, I think it's all about threading the needle on the asset type and the time, right? Like right now,
those tiers you're comfortable with, those tiers that you can logically talk yourself into, where like, listen, this first is the insurance, right? This is the insurance. If this goes sideways, that I still feel comfortable about having this asset, right? Something bad happens to it.
Yep.
You got to find those tiers and then make the tear downs from there, and then go from there. You got to set a hard bottom though. Like you have to set a hard bottom and have those tough conversations.
You do, and I think A.J. Brown is a great example at the moment where the asset of A.J. Brown is going to take a upswing. And where at the moment still there's a little bit of uneasiness with him. But his market's going to move up shortly once we start playing games. So that's where I think knowing those type of assets and kind of how they play in the dynasty clock is immense. But this last one here, Mike, Nico Collins and Jamar Chase. Let's talk about it. Nico, if he was hurt, yes, his value won't stay quite as elite as Chase's would. But buddy, I promise you, rebuilders, everybody's coming hollering for their what's up with Nico? What do I need to give you to get Nico? That's how that asset type works. Rebuilders are going to be really hesitant on buying A.J. Brown other than for absolutely bottom dollar and screwing you over, you know? That's the
100%.
That's the difference.
100%.
Speaking of screwing you over, Cowboys now a Packer. Certified shit. You got to get a new jersey, Fizz.
Get it.
Go grab it. Micah Parsons, the cheesehead. Oh, buddy. Can you imagine how much worse that score would have been, Mike, if they had Micah Parsons on the other end?
It would have been worse. Also, too, let's just point this out. If you want to get Fizz's breakdown of his team just colossal blunder, South Harmon Vibes. Why aren't you subscribed to that YouTube channel yet? We got 3. South Harmon Vibes, the Dynasty channel, which you're watching right now. And start sit, redraft advice, go to the redraft channel. Matty Kiwoom, Eric Vanek, plus much more, right? Adam, you and I will be on the redraft channel coming up. Start sit shows. We will be making appearances.
Much to their dismay.
We're terrible
We're
at
going to be on the redraft channel.
I don't know why they asked us, but we're going to fucking sit in on some of these and
Listen,
Some
last
of our
year.
biggest misses are on fucking start and sit shows.
Oh yeah, but last year I was an elite asset over at BDG until the redraft season kicked in, and then they found out that's not the cup of tea for me.
No, you're much better. You're much better as a draft pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a dynasty. I'm good at that part. The redraft, a little dicey,
And then don't forget podcast feed for those of you who don't want to watch on the YouTube and you want to put that on 3 times, 6 times speed, whatever fucking animal shit you like.
If you know what holes you like plugged up, you just an ear
40
hole guy.
Chess Dynasty podcast is gonna make its return real soon. Don't worry, I'm working on the intro. I'm getting in the lab this weekend. I'm watching college football and I'm making a dope ass intro. But we also got college football podcast, me and Xbox rocking the college football podcast. Speaking of that going on, and of course you got Koopa grinding the edge, and Eric with America's Game, the staples of the South Harmon podcast feed. So we have everything that you need. Don't worry, the links for everything is down in the description of this video. I made it real stupid easy for you. You just click. That's all you gotta do. Go sub. What the fuck are you doing? We're gonna have like 2,000 people watch this video. I better see 2,000 subs on the Vibes channel.
Listen, hit the hype button right below us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. But for those that are, that's where we're going to be. Start shit show. Got a lot of things coming this season for you. Mike, I'm excited. The season is here and upon us. I'm ready for a Marvin Harrison bounce back if you can't tell. If you do want some signed memorabilia, make sure you go check out Signed Shit. Take a look at behind Mike. You got JSN, For those that don't know, it's still wide receiver U, okay?
Still.
It's LSU. But JSN actually admitted that, which broke my heart, but it's the truth. And last but not least, the true you, Patreon you, patreon.com/South Harmon. Come show us a trade that you made today. Come be on the trade show with us next week. Next week we'll have week 1 bearing down on us on Sunday night. We'll have a game. We'll have the Eagles. We'll have the Cowboys. I think we have a Friday game too. So we'll have a few games in the books. And we'll see you back here, same time, same place, next week for the Dynasty Trade Show. We're out of here. Peace.